there are a lot of people who were really bothered by Drewski's skit. But having done stand up and being a comedian at heart in a lot of ways, I understood that Druski was not making fun of Jesus. He was making fun of church services. There is a huge difference. Now, if he were to dishonor the central figure of my faith, and in my opinion, the central figure in all of human history, that would be a different conversation. But for him to parody some of the things that many of us have seen in evangelical services, um, I think that's fair game. It's hilarious because when he wasn't drawing these parodies, I was in the audience thinking the same thing. If by chance people are offended, I think the best thing to do is be introspective and take a look and say, is any of this applicable to me or how I express myself in a service? Because at the end of the day, Jesus wasn't about smoke and lights and mirrors and histrionics. He was about compassion, helping the broken, the lost, the poor, the marginalized, poor people, those who were wounded and left for dead by society. And so we got a lot of things we could be offended about. And I think Drewski needs to be last on the list. I think what he was saying, without saying it, is that all of this entertainment stuff, and you're trying to look like a concert, from your favorite R&B or pop artist, when in fact the actual message of Jesus and the life that he lived was one of deep humility, deep compassion, deep empathy, one that it was connected to the people where they were. There were not elevated pastors and preachers with 10-member security staffs. Uh, so the idea of a pastor as a ringleader or a circus leader, it stung because a lot of the services, if you muted his video and muted some of the pastors that are well known right now, if you looked, you wouldn't know who was doing what, because some of that entertainment aspect has seeped into what should be and what has always been intended to be sacred services. If a person works hard and they want to, like bless their spouse or do something like that, I'm not opposed to that. But I think what he's speaking to is a more broad uh, construct, something that needs to be considered is that how far above the people do you live? If you are a pastor, then your primary call is to serve. Now, you're talking to someone who has had some measure of success and influence in this world. I'm also the person that bought a Lamborghini for his wife. That was before I was a pastor. It just didn't show up until after I was a senior leader. But I understood why people were offended because it is in the hearts of people that shepherds should not live above the people. I understand it. I respect people's opinions, but I believe that if any individual has a salary, they pay their taxes, particularly if you're a Christian, pastors, they should tithe, give offering. They should be the biggest servants. And, I'm not opposed if you want to drive a nice car, but I am opposed if that car somehow is connected to your character. And if somehow that makes you think you're better than someone else.